Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. On this good-looking Monday, we've got sunshine. There was a little bit of high cloudiness that moved through around midday, and you can see that little streak of high clouds that basically came down the Hudson Valley and over New York City, northern New Jersey, and parts of Long Island. That's moving away now to the southeast. And if you look at the upper flow of the clouds, it really tells a story of where we're going over the next few days. We still have this upper low sitting out well east of Cape Cod and south of Nova Scotia. There is a trough here right along the east coast that is just kind of hanging around. And of course, with that northerly flow aloft, you're getting this dry air. But where these clouds are, that's the boundary between the dry air and the hot air that covers most of the area out to the west. So we're going to put HOT over here. And then there's another trough out in the west. So we have what's called an omega block because it looks like the Greek letter omega. And this is very similar to what we had for a little while last week when the heat set up in the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and down across the Deep South. The upper high is inland, by the way, so it's not really overly humid at all as you head down into the southern states. Yeah, it is along the Gulf Coast. Obviously, it is over Florida, but the wind is coming in off the land here, so it's taking it takes much longer for that to moisten up. In some cases, some areas, it barely moistens up the further north you go. But the thing is that this is all going to be breaking down soon to an extent, and weather systems are going to start to move. But don't get too excited because they're not going to be moving all that fast. Radars are quiet in the east from Maine down to Florida, but you can see these showers in easternmost Michigan and over Lake Huron and into Lake Erie. They're moving south-southeastward. Now tomorrow, that zone, instead of being where you see it, is going to be much further to the east. It's probably going to be in upstate New York and heading down the Hudson Valley and toward eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, into southern New England. Now, exactly who gets what as far as those showers and when is something we haven't been able to answer yet because the models are always a little bit different. But I think the whole area we're just going to mention as being a general risk for tomorrow as far as showers are concerned. Today's Storm Prediction Center outlook has an enhanced risk in the Dakotas up into Minnesota. The marginal risk is around that. And then tomorrow, it's just a small area of marginal risk in parts of the middle Mississippi Valley toward Chicagoland. And on Wednesday into Thursday, we're looking at a marginal risk southwestern New York, western and central Pennsylvania, south and west into Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. Now, rainfall this week, kind of tricky. It could be a half inch. It could be, in some cases, with some heavier downpours if they sit around for a while. Some places could wind up with an inch and a quarter to an inch and a half. But for the most part, this is taking on a bit of a summery feel to it. From Texas to Alabama, hardly any rain over the next 7 days. Getting more rain in parts of the Southwest, which is great news for them. It's been ongoing here, and that's a big positive to relieve some of the severe drought conditions there. Dry up into the Northwest and still mainly wet across the northern plains. So here's what's going to happen this week in terms of the upper air. You've got this trough in the east, and I'll just set it up for you again with how the upper flow is. And we're okay here. Okay, here's your big upper high, right? There we go, upper high. So this is the area that's HOT, hot, and our air coming down from the north is dry. There's a boundary zone between the two. And as the trough to the east starts to pull out and weaken, we get very close to that boundary zone. So there's going to be a very slow-moving warm front that's going to set up to our west. Meanwhile, as we move through the week, the upper low is going to drop southward. At least a piece of it will, off the coast between Bermuda and the Carolinas. And this, I think, might complicate matters a bit over the weekend because it's essentially trapped there, and it's waiting for the next weather system in the northern stream to kind of come along. And that's not until a week from now to absorb it, pick it up, and kick it away to the northeast. And by the way, you'll notice more troughing coming in the east, although not as pronounced as what we just saw. And then another trough right behind that. and then another trough possibly right behind that. So if you're looking for hot weather that's going to stick around for more than a day or so, keep looking, because it's just not happening here in this pattern. And this is going to be the story, I think, right through the end of the month. So looking at how this all plays out, obviously the rest of today is fine. I think we're okay this evening in the first part of tonight. And then with that warm front pushing close tomorrow, some showers will start dropping from upstate New York. You see them over the area from eastern PA to southern New England tomorrow afternoon and evening. Then those will move out. And this warm frontal boundary is just going to sit here, just kind of stalled out right along the eastern seaboard, and really not going anywhere. Let me just get rid of that. There we go. And just not going anywhere. So we could see more showers firing up Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night. And then finally on Thursday, the frontal boundary moves offshore, and it just kind of sits there. So, and then you see that little spinning action off the coast. Now, models don't seem to be doing anything other than the odd shower for Thursday and Friday. But then as we get into Saturday and Sunday, we'll see. May have to throw in the chance for a few scattered showers. Doesn't look anything terrible at the moment. The Europeans got a much more, let's call it a more vibrant look when it comes to a more robust look when it comes to rain or showers or downpours over the weekend. And then finally, early next week on Monday, we have a stronger cold front with showers and thunderstorms that will clean house and get everything out of the way. In the meantime, as far as temperatures are concerned, tomorrow we are going to be sitting between the clouds and the showers. It's going to be mostly in the 70s, and where the downpours hit a bit longer, it could actually even be in the upper 60s to low 70s. But you'll notice, go out into central Pennsylvania, down into central Maryland and points west, it gets into the mid and the upper 80s. Why? Because they're on the other side. The warm front's kind of stuck right in there. So again, just inching its way eastward over the next several days. And then as we head on into Wednesday, with clouds and more of an east-southeast wind, we're going to have temperatures lower. It's going to be mostly low 70s from eastern PA to southern New England. A little warmer South Jersey, Maryland, into, again, west of I-81, it'll be in the 80s. We'll do the same thing on Thursday, probably the same idea here until that frontal boundary can just edge far enough offshore. Maybe we'll be more like in the 70s for everybody on Thursday. And then as we move on into Friday, we'll probably see temperatures start to make it maybe back to the upper 70s and lower 80s. So kind of an interesting week here for the first days of summer as it comes in tomorrow. And onward and upward we go. But again, no long duration or even short duration heat and humidity episodes here. Pattern just does not favor it with this troughing in the eastern part of the United States. The Joe and Joe weather shows tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time. So we hope to see you there.